Good morning, everyone. Today, we're going to learn an important grammar tense called the simple present. We use it every day when we talk about our habits, routines, and facts. By the end of the lesson, you will be able to use the simple present correctly in sentences, questions, and negatives. We use the simple present tense for several reasons. First, we use it for habits and routines, which are things we do regularly, like waking up early or going to school. Second, we use it for general truths, which are facts that never change, such as the sun rising in the east. Third, we use it for permanent situations, like where someone lives. Finally, we use it to express opinions and feelings. For example, things we like or dislike. Now, let's see how we form positive sentences in the simple present. For I, you, we, and they, we use the base form of the verb. For he, she, and that, we add s or es to the verb. For example, we say, I play football, but she plays football. To make a negative sentence in the simple present, we use do not or does not before the base verb. We use do not with I, you, we, and they. We use does not with he, she, and that. Remember, the verb stays in its base form. For example, I don't like coffee, and he doesn't eat meat. To ask questions in the simple present, we start the sentence with do or does. Then we add the subject and the base verb. We use do with I, you, we, and they. We use does with he, she, and that. For example, do you like pizza? And does she go to school by bus? When we use the simple present with he, she, or it, the verb changes. Most verbs just take s. Like play becomes plays. Verbs that end in ch, sh, s, x, or o takes es. Like go becomes goes. If the verb ends in a consonant and y, we change y to yes. Like study becomes studies. We often use the simple present with time expressions. Words like always, usually, often, sometimes, and never help us talk about frequency. We also use phrases like every day, on Mondays, and in the morning. These words usually tell us how often something happens. Now let's practice together. Look at the sentences and choose the correct verb form. Think about the subject first, then choose the correct form of the verb. Take a moment, and we will check the answers together. Sentence number 1 says, I like or likes pizza. First things first, this is obviously an affirmative sentence. There is nothing indicating negation, so it's not a negative sentence. Also, there is no question mark at the end, so it's not a question. We said before that in the affirmative sentence, we use the base form of the verb, with I, you, we, and they, and add s or es with he, she, or it. Since the subject here is I, then we will choose the verb in its base form. We will choose like. Sentence number 2 says, she play or plays football. Since the subject here is she, we will choose the verb which has s or es added to it. So we choose plays. Sentence number 3 says, they go or goes to school by bus. Since the subject here is they, we will choose the verb in its base form. We choose go. Sentence number 4 says, He watches TV every evening. Since the subject is he, we will choose the verb with s or es added to it. So we choose watches. Sentence number 5 says, we study or studies English at school. Since the subject is we will choose the verb in its base form. So we choose study. Next, try to make full sentences using the words given. Put the words in the correct order and use the simple present tense. Remember to think about whether the sentence is affirmative or negative. In the first sentence, we have 4 blocks, named as follows: she, every morning, walk, park. Building a sentence out of these blocks, we start with the subject, then the verb, then the object, then the rest of the sentence. So we will start with the subject, she, then the verb walk, but since the subject is she, we will add s to the verb, so it becomes walks. The place where she walks is the park, and this happens every morning. So the full sentence will be, she walks in the park every morning. Sentence number 2 has the blocks I, not, eat, meet. The first part of the sentence will be the subject I, followed by the verb eat. But as we notice, we have not within the blocks, meaning this sentence will be a negative one. We said before that in order to form a negative sentence, we use don't or doesn't before the base verb. We said that we use don't with I, you, we, and they, and doesn't with he, she, or it. Since the subject here is I, we will use don't. So the full sentence will be, I don't eat meat. Sentence number 3 has the blocks, they like pizza. Starting with the subject, they, then the verb in its base form, like, since this is an affirmative sentence. Then the object, pizza. Then the full sentence as, they like pizza. Sentence number 4 has the blocks, he, go, school, by bus, and the question mark. As we know, to form a question in the simple present, we start the sentence with do or does. We use do with you, I, we, or they, and does with he, she, or it. Then the subject, then the base verb. Since the subject is he, we will start the sentence with does. Then the subject, he, then the base verb, go, then the rest of the sentence. So the full sentence will be, does he go to school by bus? Sentence number 5 has the blocks, we study English at school. Obviously, this is a simple affirmative sentence. We will start with the subject, we, then the verb in its base form, study, then the object, English, then the rest of the sentence. So the full sentence will be, we study English at school. Let's quickly review what we learned today. The simple present tense is used for habits, routines, facts, and feelings. We add s or es with he, she, and that. We use do not and does not for negatives, and do or does to form questions. For homework, I want you to practice more. Write 5 sentences about your daily routine. Then write 3 negative sentences using the simple present. Finally, write 3 questions and ask them to a classmate. Now, it's your turn. Write your homework answers in the comments below. I will read them and give you feedback. See you in the next lesson.